Oleksander Usyk heavyweight debut has officially been announced for the 12th of October in Chicago against Tyrone Spong. And everybody was a bit disappointed about this announcement. He say, no one knows actually who Tyrone Spong is. Actually, he's a boxer from the Netherlands. He was actually previously a kickboxer. Now, he jumped into boxing. This guy has actually 14 fights, 13 knockouts, so it's a pretty good record, unbeaten. Like many, I have to say. But people are just disappointed because it's actually going to be a match that no one really wants to see. Yeah, it's an important match for Usyk because he's going to actually debut at heavyweight, but people are just discussing, what kind of opponent are you going to face? You're actually a world-class level fighter, and you're going to face opponents that actually no one knows. It's not a match that we want to see. And I honestly think this is completely wrong, and I'm going to explain you why in this video, because sometimes it's not up to the fighter to decide who to fight, right? So, but first of all, this is Boxing Pill, best boxing news and boxing analysis here on YouTube. So please, if you like boxing, consider subscribing and hit the like button. Thank you very much. But back to the video. So what I was saying was that, people are just disappointed, who Tyrone Wong is, Spong. I don't know why I confuse him with Tyrese Gibson from Fast and Furious. I don't know why, and they don't resemble each other, by the way. So people are just saying, who is Tyrone Spong? That's not a match I want to see. We wanted Usyk to fight better opponents, and we are not seeing this fight. But there is a lot going on behind the curtain, okay, guys? There is a lot of backstory that people actually forget. Because actually Tyrone Spong, wasn't supposed to fight Oleksander Usyk. Usyk heavyweight debut was already announced for 25 of May against Carlos Takam. Carlos Takam is a fighter that is very, very good. He showed a lot of heart, he showed a lot of technique. He fought Anthony Joshua, he fought Povetkin, he fought many of the best fighters in the world, and he always fought very well. He lost, but he always fought extremely well, and he got the respect of all the boxing world. I saw the fight against Anthony Joshua. This guy has such a strong chin, one of the strongest chin I've ever seen. So when actually it was announced that Usyk was going to fight Carlos Takam, everybody was very happy because the level of the opponent for Oleksander Usyk, that don't forget is actually untested at heavyweight, was very, very good, guys. Was very, very good. And I look forward to this fight. But, you cannot actually control injuries, right? So Usyk got a torn bicep, before the fight. And a torn bicep, needs a lot of time to heal, to actually process, to repair the damage. And usually, actually, in this contract, Usyk-Takam, usually there is a clause that actually gives the people 90 days to renegotiate a fight, to postpone the fight, to postpone the fight for a few months, 2 to 3 months. But due to actually Usyk injury, he had to stay away for a long time. So as a result, Carlos Takam got set free because Usyk didn't know what time he was going to be able to be back in the ring. It probably was going to be a long stay. And indeed, he has been inactive so far for 11 months. Since actually defeating Tony Bellew in November, which is actually a long time. And you also start to get some ring rust, right? So Usyk cannot fight. Carlos Takam gets set free. Then once they know that actually the injury is healed, and Usyk can actually fight again, they go back, they contact Carlos Takam. But as far as I read, he didn't really like the offer. And he also got kind of offended because, he wanted the money back for his preparation camp or his training camp that he actually was doing before May, when Usyk got injured. He wanted more money than the ones they were giving to him. And so actually the negotiations were not successful. He was not successful. So they actually had to look for another opponent. And the problem is that even the top 10 or 15 heavyweights, they were booked for October. They were booked. There was actually no space available. You go here, this is occupied, this is occupied, this is occupied. They have to fight with each other. Usyk is not the only thought in their head. Okay, they have other fighter, they have other way actually to earn their money, and they didn't want to fight Usyk because they couldn't. They signed other contracts. And that's actually, open a little parenthesis, the same thing that actually happened to Tyson Fury versus Otto Walling. We wanted to fight Charles Martin. Charles Martin is not available. Joseph Parker is actually fighting Chisora. Chisora is fighting Joseph Parker. Anthony Joshua is having a rematch with Andy Ruiz. So fighting an heavyweight that is of your same level is extremely difficult at the moment. Don't forget that it has been 2 years probably that we won the unification fight, and still hasn't happened, so it's extremely difficult. So that's actually why this guy is actually fighting Tyrone Spong. And I agree, maybe there is a better fight out there, but the better fight was not available at this point in time. And I'm very happy that at least Usyk comes back to fight. We can actually see his heavyweight style. And I would say for sure what's going to happen next is that he needs to be tested with even a better opponent if he wins. So I don't think, because Usyk is actually the mandatory, he actually was a cruiserweight in 16 fight. He actually unified all the 4 cruiserweight belts. He was actually the first man to do so in the 4 belts cruiserweight era. And he actually declared that he actually wanted to follow Evander Holyfield's footsteps, that he moved into heavyweight and became undisputed. That's actually what he's doing. But now I don't think the level of opponent, if you want to fight the best 4, which are actually Tyson Fury, Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, your opponent is so far below them that you need this opponent here, then you need another opponent, and then if you are successful, then you can go up fighting who is on the top of the mountain, right? So in any case, I really look forward for 12th of October in Chicago for Oleksander Usyk heavyweight debate. Please don't forget to subscribe, love boxing pills, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.